Okay, on your note cards, please put your name, your hometown. If you're not from the U.S., also please include your country. You could also include your current job. If you don't currently have a job, you could just say student. That would be fine. Did I want to know about your professional aspirations? That is, what do you want to be when you grow up? And then an interesting fact about you that other people might not guess just by looking. And in the interest of fairness, I will tell you the same things about me. My name is Kelly Stephen Haggard. For the first 31 years of my life, I went by Kelly, but Kelly actually could go either way, male or female, and I am married to a woman named Dana, another name that can go either way, but it all worked out as long as we didn't both work in the same building. But then, we both went to doctoral school together and it confused the fire out of people. So, now I go by Stephen. I have been talking to the Brightspace people. Undoubtedly, you have received emails that have flips back and forth. Why, I don't know. Anyway, so those are my names. I'm originally from Carthage, Missouri. Anybody here from Carthage? Anybody know where Carthage is at? Oh, excellent. So it's a nice place to be from. You guys know what that means? It's my favorite hometown. It's the only one I've got. So my current job, I am a professor of finance at Missouri State University. I've been here since 2007, and before that I was at the University of Southern Mississippi for 1 year. I'm originally a mechanical engineer, and then I just surely by accident ended up in MBA school. And then somewhat by accident ended up in PhD school, and I'm a big fan of happy accidents because this is what I was meant to do. In fact, my professional aspiration, this is exactly what I want to do until I retire, no later than July 31st, 2037. So if you have questions about finance or anything before then, feel free to email me. Even after that, they're going to let me keep my email, I think. So feel free to reach out. If I'm not asleep, I'll respond. Interesting fact. So I've got a lot of different interesting facts. In fact, I'm so interesting I had to write them down. That's supposed to be a laugh, but it didn't. So there we go. Okay, do you guys know who Dick Cheney is? Or was? He was Vice President of the United States. Now he's dead. I probably have to stop making Dick Cheney jokes because he's dead now. He owes me $11,000 plus interest from 1998. My fingerprints are on file with the FBI. I've nearly been killed on the job twice, both before I became a professor. A product that I helped develop can be purchased or bought at Walmart. I've hunted alligators. I've worked in Scotland, China, and Germany. Some people think that I am one of the undead because I'm pale, cold, and older than I look. And I am 2 degrees of separation from 2 World War II dictators. Do you guys know about degrees of separation? So you know someone that's 1 degree of separation, and they know someone that's 2 degrees of separation. So any of those that you'd like to know more about?
2 degrees of separation.
Okay, so when I was born in 1971, the guy that delivered me was Dr. Charlie Isbell. Dr. Charlie Isbell had been an Army doctor in the Pacific in World War II. At the end of the war, the Americans have occupied Japan. There's this really bad guy, the military dictator Tojo. Tojo tried to kill himself. Dr. Charlie Isbell saved his life. 26 years later, he delivered me. So I'm 1 degree separated from Tojo. I also, actually, that'd be 1 or 2. Anyway, back to the story. I worked with a metallurgist in Dallas, Texas when I was in the oil field. And he had worked with Wernher von Braun. Anybody here know who Wernher von Braun He was the guy that put us on the moon. Now, do you know where he was originally from? Germany. And do you know who he originally worked for? Hitler. There we go. So there's my degrees of separation from World War II dictators. Any other questions?
Have you almost died 2 times?
Okay, so the first time I was working in a nuclear power plant in Arkansas, and I was inside of the reactor containment. And if you look from the top on a reactor containment, they are round. Unfortunately, the scaffolding is square. And because we didn't want to pay to get this stuff decontaminated, we covered everything with plastic. Well, unfortunately, the plastic hid the hole. And so when I stepped forward, stop that. I hate the new iOS 26 and everything. Okay, so when I stepped forward, I started falling. And I was going down. By the way, this was at level 372. Everything in a nuclear plant is measured at feet above sea level. Down here at 317, there was a stack of scaffolding and all sorts of pointy, jagged crap. And so I was going to fall 55 feet straight onto the pointy, jagged crap. Except this mechanic named Steve from Oklahoma grabbed my arm, lifted me up, set me back on the scaffolding and said, "You okay?" I said, "Yeah." I was that. Okay, so that's the first time. The second time, I had moved into the oil field, and I was on a rig in Glenmora, Louisiana. And the rig that we were working on was down here. I'm a terrible artist, by the way. And so my buddy is standing right here, and he's smoking a cigarette. Are you guys starting to see that's a problem? Yeah. And anyway, so if this guy pulls a truck in up here, and the way things work in an oil rig is because everything's time's expensive, right? So you would have got to have everything lined up. So as soon as we're done doing what we're doing, this guy's supposed to come in. And so he pulls up, he stops, and he gets out of his truck. But he forgets to set the brake. What does our friend Gravity do? Yeah, the truck starts going down the hill. Now, the truck driver sees the problem, and the truck's not rolling all that fast. So the truck driver thinks, I can jump in and save the day. But it's the weirdest thing. It's the only one-legged truck driver I've ever met. And so he's hopping along after the truck, trying to catch up. No luck. And so the truck continues on down, but we were fortunate. It was lunchtime, and we were too lazy to carry our cooler down from the top of the hill. So one of the guys had just brought our big old crane truck down here because we were too lazy to carry the cooler. So the food's on it. It's sitting right here. Once again, I'm a terrible artist. But fortunately, our good Duncan Oklahoma iron actually just stopped that truck in its tracks. If we had not been so lazy, that truck would not have been there. The wellhead would have been sheared off. Can anyone guess what would happen next? By the way, this guy ended up getting fired after drinking all night at the casino and driving his company pickup truck and flipping it into a canal. Yeah, so his cigarette would have lit this thing on fire and we would have all been crispy critters. Any questions? Okay, other questions about my interesting facts? Okay, my hope is to get things wrapped up and we can come around and talk about your interesting facts. And some of you have already written down, I'm not interesting. That's interesting in and of itself, but it's even more interesting that you think that about yourself. So try not to do that. Okay, so we're doing the video recording. You may have noticed this. Here's what I do. I record all, oh, by the way, devices off and away. So all your laptops and whatnot, yeah, put them away, your phone's away. So go ahead, put it away. Put it away. She had to save her work, very tidy. Okay, so I don't allow devices in my class, and here's why. They are a distraction. So I'm taking the first class that I have taken in 22 years. And so I went to this class yesterday, and I'm sitting behind this guy, and the instructor makes an offhand mention of Lambert's Restaurant. You guys know about Lambert's? Down there where they throw bread at you and whatnot? And this guy who's sitting in front of me on his laptop, because he doesn't know what Lambert's is, he Googles Lambert's, and then he's reading the freaking menu. Meantime, the professor is telling us some important stuff. And this guy's learning about throwed rolls, which is not good English, by the way. Anyway, so that's why I don't allow that in class. Let's see. The goal, video recording. I record all my lectures, and then I post them to YouTube, and I put a link on Brightspace. If for any reason you figure out that you can't be here, all you have to do is catch up on the day's video. It is my goal to have those posted every evening. If they're not posted by then, send me an email because it means I've just forgotten. Okay, now it's my goal. I know some of you are camera shy. If you don't want to be on camera, the best place to be is like right in here, because I hardly ever run to the back of the room and then talk. By the way, did you notice this thing follows me? Isn't that pretty cool? My dad watched one of my videos and he said, "Who's your cameraman?" Anyway, let's see what else we got here. So for the top scorer, I will award you the Golden Thinker. You guys, so this is Rodin's The Thinker, and he's on the toilet. Now, why is he on the toilet? Folks, this is where a lot of really great thinking happens, or used to happen before the invention of the smartphone. Used to be, you're in there, you're doing your thing, and what have you got to do? Deep thoughts. And now what are you guys doing? TikTok, right? Okay, so this is the Golden Thinker. I also will be handing out my challenge coins as people tell me, really, if you say something really brilliant, I'll chuck you a challenge coin. And the challenge coins have my catchphrase on them: people are scumbags. And if you don't recognize, by the way, raise your hand if you think humans are generally good. Please, one. We will, by the end of the semester, we will show you that's not true. Okay, and it is nothing evil. It's just our nature. So think about evolution. How did you get to be here? Someone was selfish enough to gather enough food to make sure you didn't starve. How did they get to be here? Someone was selfish enough. Do you see how this is working? And so that means that all of the truly good and loving, altruistic, totally benevolent people, they died a long time ago, right? Natural selection worked them out. Short of a religious experience, this is the nature of man, right? Okay, so I'm going to test this out here, see if we have anyone who can earn the first challenge coin. Does anyone know what the goal of financial management is?
To account for the nature of humanity and plan accordingly.
Oh, no.
Maximize the shareholders' wealth.
Very good. Oh, excellent. I'm a lousy tosser. He's a great catcher, so that all worked out. Okay, so that's how the challenge coins work. Today we're going to be doing the intro and hopefully starting on Chapter 1. Next time, more Chapter 1. Please be on time. If you're late, I will shame you. That clock, I guess that clock's okay. Okay, so then we're going to do a Brightspace tour. We'll talk about syllabus and connect. We'll talk about discussions and ratings. You've got homework 1 and discussion 1 due on January 19th. Now, homework 1 is so simple that your cat could do it. Why would I give you a simple homework like that? Just easing you into it. Don't get fooled and think that this class is going to be a cakewalk. In fact, how many of you are afraid of this class? Excellent. Fear is a powerful motivator. Fear is a powerful motivator. Now, there are at least 3 responses we can think of to fear. What are they?
Fight, flight,
So you've got the original too, so I'm going to give you a point for that. Okay. Fight, flight, and then the new one, and I hate this one, freeze. Freeze. Have you heard of freezing?
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it's like a deer in headlights. Yeah. Okay, now, if you're afraid in this clash, should you freeze? No, because you're just going to get ran over, just like the deer in the headlights. Number 2, should you flee? No. So that leaves you only one. You've got to fight. Now that doesn't mean that you're going to fight me, because actually I did have a comment in my teaching evaluations one time that said I could easily defeat Dr. Haggard in hand-to-hand combat. But I think they were overestimating the power of youth and enthusiasm over old age and deception. Yeah. So, anyway, no, you're not going to fight me. You're going to have to work hard. And I'm going to tell you exactly how to do that. And if you do things as I tell you and you spend the actual time on this stuff, you will succeed. If you don't, you will not, unless you're just some sort of super genius. And if you were a super genius, I would assume that you would be doing your MBA at Harvard or the University of Chicago. Hey, there's a reason I'm here, right? I'm not all that in a bag of chips, or I'd be at Harvard. Okay, so we need to work because we are not super geniuses. Let's see. Oh, and there's a trial run quiz due on February 1st. You'll be taking your exams online. Now, unfortunately, some people have figured out how to cheat on Respondus Monitor. But I have a secret weapon. Her name is Ms. Robinson. She is my graduate assistant. And she is so good at spotting people doing this stuff. And what we do is, if she identifies someone as being a probable, what we do is we say, hey, you get to come in and take your next exam in person. And it was amazing. The point drop went from like 20 to 30%, or maybe even more. I had one guy go from a 95 to a 30. Yeah. Do you think he was cheating? Yeah. Now, we are going, so basically exam 1, we're going to be looking at that very close. And if you pull any of this crap on exam 1, then you will, for the entire rest of the semester, be taking the exam in a seated environment with Ms. Robinson standing over you with a sharp stick. So don't do that. Do that. By the way, what do you gain from cheating? Not much. Yeah, so you get a grade, you move on, and then you get out there and suddenly everyone realizes you don't know crap. Now see, this is my biggest fear. When you guys get out there, you've got our seal on your forehead. It says, well, MSU says that you know what the hell you're talking about. And then when you get out there on the job, do you think you're going to be able to figure out how to cheat on that? I doubt it, right? I mean, you'll be able to figure out little tricks in there, here and there, but you're not going to be, it's going to be up to you, especially in the age of AI. You're going to have to prove that you can do something more than AI can do. And so cheating does not help you, so don't do that. Let's see. Content. Okay, so we've got the, let's see, come on. Raise your hand if you hate Brightspace. It sucks. Okay, so if we're going to be going over this today, but if you want to see some more later, go ahead and watch that. This is a video by Snoop Dogg. You guys know who Snoop Dogg is? Snoop Dogg is my age. Martha Stewart is much older. We got the syllabus here. Let's take a look at it. I was trying to download that thing, but... Okay. Once again, I hate Brightspace. Oh, okay, I bet I know what to do now. There we go. Okay, so here we are in the syllabus. Hopefully it is spring 2026. This class, you know where it is and what time it is because you showed up. Thank you. I am typically conscious between 6:30 a.m. and 8:30 p.m. Feel free, I know you guys are night owls, feel free to email me overnight, but you will not get an answer until I've had my coffee the following morning, and that is so it will make sense. My office is 333 Glass Hall. My wife, the other Dr. Haggard, is in 332 Glass Hall. So if you knock on Dr. Haggard's door and a good-looking blonde woman answers the door, that's my wife. I'm next door. That's my phone number, folks. I don't answer it. My dad tried to call me on that phone the other day. I'm like, Dad, I don't answer that phone. It's always just junk. So what do? Email me. Email's the best way. And I've got, the iPhone that pings up, and I'm slightly autistic, so I can't resist answering the email when it comes in. Our office hours are 1 to 2 on Tuesday and Thursday, and by prior appointment. Folks, I'm around a lot more than just the 1 to 2, but the 1 to 2 is a guaranteed time frame in which you do not need an appointment beforehand to come see me. But if you want to talk to me otherwise, you can always request an appointment. And I'm here at least 4 days a week, so we can usually find sometime that works for both of us. Folks, I've written, so this syllabus, I hate how long my syllabus is. Everything that's in my syllabus is basically as a result of a university requirement or because someone's done something stupid. And we're going to get to some of that here in a bit. So don't ask for exceptions to the syllabus. It's all created to make this thing work. You've already seen the course description. Hopefully you've got the prerequisites or you wouldn't be here. We're going to use Connect. Someone already given up.
I think I'm in the wrong class, I'm sorry.
This is Finance 780.
Yeah, I've been in the wrong class.
Oh, okay.
My bad.
Yeah. Did you actually get one of the challenge coins?
I don't think I did.
Oh, okay.
You're good. I'm sorry.
I was going to say that would be amazing for someone who wasn't even enrolled in the class. That's just wild. Okay. Okay. So we've got Streamline ED, so all you got to do is click on one of the Connect assignments and it takes you through to it. If you have any trouble, let me know. Required subscription. I'm going to be doing a lot of discussions out of the Wall Street Journal. So you want that subscription, you can get it for cheap here. The required calculator, folks. What does the word required mean?
You have to.
You got to have it, right? Anybody here planning to use anything other than the TI-BA2 Plus? Do you have a TI-BA2 Plus? You do, very good. Sometimes I have people, especially outside of the United States, what's the more popular calculator? Casio. Oh, and these people love their Casio, and I say, I hope you and your Casio are very happy together. However, for my class, you will be using the TI-BA2 Plus. The computer requirements, because you're going to be doing all your homework on there, you're going to be doing your exams on there, take a look at the computer requirements, make sure that you understand how that all works. You can see the other university policies to discover the MSU policies not addressed here. I record all the scores on Brightspace. You have to check, and it's in university policy, you must check your Brightspace and your email once every 24 hours. That's at the minimum, so you know what the heck is going on here. We're going to have 4 exams. However, if you manage to take the first 3 and you are satisfied with the grade you earned on the first 3, then all I do is take the average of those and plug it in for your final exam. Yeah, oh yeah. And you would be amazed at how motivated people are now to show up for the exams. The other thing you need to know about the exams is that there are no makeup exams, because makeup exams are for cosmetology school. First lame joke of the day, there will be more. Okay, think of exams for Preston Public School. Now, I put these things out there. In fact, they're already out there. So if you're like, oh, and this is one that I hate. My parents booked a cruise, and they didn't know what week spring break was. And I'm like, so your parents are big enough dumbasses that they cannot go to the Missouri State website. What real chance do you have in this world to succeed? Oh, it's just so sad. So don't do that. Hey, God bless you. I enjoy a good cruise too, right? Just get your exam done a week early. Or another one of my favorites is, oh, and by the way, raise your hand if you're from St. Louis. Okay, so you guys will probably recognize this. I have a friend who's more like a brother, and he's getting married, and I have to be at the rehearsal dinner. So blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. Just get your stuff done early, and then just go get blasted at the rehearsal dinner. I don't care. Right? That's on you, not me. Okay, so the exams must be, you got to be in them and answering questions by 7:59 p.m. A lot of times our other stuff will be at 12:59 p.m. The reason I make you start the exams early is to give us a chance to redeem yourself if there is a technical problem. Because I go to bed at 9 p.m. And I used to give people, till 11:59 p.m. I would go to bed and I wake up the next morning, 17 freaking emails from people who are like, oh, I can't believe it's not working for me. Please, please, please reset it. And I'm like, you're out of luck, right? So we're trying to avoid that problem. I do suggest that you take the exams early. People who wait till the last minute inevitably have problems. And some of it has to do with the kind of people who wait till the last minute to do anything. But some of it is just rotten luck. I had a girl got wiped out by a tornado. And it was, she had like 20 minutes left to start the exam, and the sirens go off. Yeah, so don't do that. Don't wait until the last minute. You're just asking for trouble. Yeah, and you got to do a pre-exam environment scan for respondents. How many of you have used Respondents Monitor before? Okay, so I've got some sample videos here of what a good environment scan should look like. You're going to do the trial run quiz. And then Ms. Robinson, do you remember Ms. Robinson? Yes. Ms. Robinson will be looking at your trial run quiz, your exam area review. She will then give you pointers. If Ms. Robinson makes a suggestion, what should you do? Do that thing. And redo the trial run quiz and resubmit it and email Ms. Robinson. Can you take a look at it now? Because you want to make sure that you do a proper exam area review, because if you don't, you're going to lose 10% off of your exam score. If we figure out that we just suspect that you're abusing the Respondents Monitor, that's when you're going to go to manual proctoring. Nobody wants that. Come on, Goofy. There we go. Okay. Now, here's something new I've had to add. Your ears must be visible during the exam. Unless you have some sort of religious accommodation, your ears must be visible during the exam. I had like the freaking Unabomber taking an exam. I'm like, I can't tell if you've got earbuds in. Phew. And here's another one. No talking during the exam. Folks, you're by yourself in a room. Now here's what happened last semester. The lady's sitting here, and she keeps looking over, and she will read the questions down, and then she looks over, and then she reads multiple choice answer A, and she looks over. She does that for 40 questions. It's so obvious what she's doing, right? And so the new rule is no talking. If you're going to cheat, at least be a little slicker than that, right? Although Ms. Robinson will get you. I'm losing Ms. Robinson after the semester, so I'm going to have to train someone new. Let's see, if you have technical difficulties. So, yes?
Sorry, I just got a question. So no reading questions out loud
Yeah. Yeah. That's one of the signs of intelligence, is to be able to read with your mouth shut. If your lips are moving while you're reading. Okay. They don't teach you guys that anymore? Oh, we would have got smacked in grade school for... Okay. So if you have technical issues, send me an email. And the subject line of that should be, please reset my attempt. Because that means that I can immediately go and fix it and I don't have to ask you. If you say, I've got a problem, and I have to say, what's your problem? You say, take it in front of me. Then I say, do you want me to reset it? And you'll say, well, can you just restart it where I left off? And I'll say, no, it didn't work that way. And then you'll say, oh, okay, please reset it. Now, we could have saved you a whole lot of time if you just said, please reset my exam attempt, right? Let's see. The discussion board. So hopefully you guys have already been on and saw. Most of the discussions are attached to a reading. The first one is not. It's about the nature of man. But you will go out there and you will try to write something thoughtful, not from AI. And so I'll have these questions and you want to answer the questions in your discussion post. And then your classmates are going to go out and rate you. Now, all I ask is that you rate 6 to 12 other discussions. And I also ask you go out right before the due time and rate anybody who's out there that hasn't been rated yet. So maybe do 4 up front and then a couple at the end. The best way to not get a rating is to post at 11:58 p.m. I get these people, they're like, I don't know why I didn't get any ratings. I'm like, because you posted it with 30 seconds left. Everyone else was asleep or drunk. They were not reading your post at 11:58 and 30 seconds. Try again, right? Oh, it's just so sad. Oh, by the way, if no one rates you, you get a 0 for the discussion, so don't do that. The homework is through Connect, and you're going to have 12 discussions. I count the top 10. You're going to have 12 homeworks. I count the top 10. And so if you miss a discussion, there are no makeup discussions. If you miss a homework, there are no makeup homeworks. Just get it done. By the way, if you do 10 perfect discussions, do you have to do 11 and 12? No. If you do 10 perfect homeworks, should you do 11 and 12? Yeah, because it's preparation for exam 3. Does that make sense? Okay. So the grade determination, you've got exams worth a total of 800, your homework assignments are worth 100, discussion boards worth 100, so it's totally 1,000 points available. And here is our grading scale. If you get greater than or equal to 900, then you get an A. No questions asked. What if it's 899.999? According to this grading scale, what grade would you receive? B. So here's the second corny joke of the day. I don't round up. Round up is for killing weeds, not raising grades. Non-Americans may not get that one. Okay, so do I, at the end of the semester, try to clean up breaks in the grade distribution? Yeah. If I've got 897 and then the next one down is like 882, I may bump everyone 3 points, but that's not guaranteed. That's not guaranteed. If you want to guarantee yourself an A, earn 900 points. By the way, what is the best A? 900 points, right? You didn't put in a single ounce of effort extra other than that, which I'm teasing, that's terrible. That's exactly how I thought about it though when I was a student. Okay, disability accommodation. If you have disability accommodation, let me know. I'm very pleased to work with you on that. Let me know outside of class. You can come see me in my office hours. You can send me an email. But I've got to have it at least 1 week in advance of whatever event you're wanting the accommodation for. Academic dishonesty, folks, don't do it. I just got through taking a person all the way through the process. And one of the things that I had to do was explain to this committee of people from the College of Arts and Crafts and these other places about Why would we go with the XF in the College of Business? Any idea why XF might be more suitable for a College of Business than it would be for theater and dance? You guys, what are we training you to do here? You, at some point, are going to be responsible for other people's money. People are scumbags. We need the XF to be able to mark these people as scumbags so nobody trusts them with money, right? And you think that sounds kind of harsh, just wait till you get into a retirement plan. And you're thinking about the scumbags that are managing your funds. You would much rather know that Dr. Haggard weeded out the thieves before they got to that level. So that's why the XF in the College of Business. By the way, if you get an XF in the MBA program, what happens? You're gone, cast out into the darkness forever, never to return. So don't do that. Don't do that. If you guys don't believe me about the importance of integrity, let me know and I will bring in my friend who did 7 years in federal prison for securities fraud, and he will tell you that even at the most minimum security federal prison, it's still a hellhole, and he wishes he hadn't done the crime. So if you ever have those desires to become a white-collar criminal, let me know. Course plan for the unexpected. Oh, actually, I made a little mistake here. It says, as this is an online class. It's not an online class. I do have videos for every single lecture. And so if we get canceled out here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to email you all and say, watch this video, and we'll pick up at the end of it next time. I don't require attendance in my classes, but I do think attendance is a really good idea. People who attend class tend to do better. People who do not tend to do worse. Don't visit me in person to inform me that you have an illness. Why do you think I have that rule in there? I don't want to get sick. There's one of me, right? If one of you is sick, we can carry on, right? If I'm sick, we can't carry on. Also, you have turned me into a disease vector because now I'm interacting with multiple groups of people, right? So don't do that. I had this woman, I was teaching a night class one time. She shows up, knocks on my door beforehand, and I open the door, and she's standing there, and there's this little kid, and he was the strangest shade of green I had ever seen, and it's like mucus. Oh, it was awful. I'm like, she's like, little Johnny has dengue fever, or whatever the hell it was. And she says, so I won't be able to come to class tonight. I'm like, why did you bring that little disease vector into this building full of healthy people? Don't do that. Just send me an email. And by the way, do I need to know what kind of sick you are? No! I hear way too many personal details. No, ick, yuck, stop. Mobile phone policy. If your phone rings or vibrates during an exam, it's another 10% off. I don't reschedule the finals, so make that work for you. Online testing rules. Okay, so the first one I get is people say, well, no one else made me do this. I'm like, well, maybe they're a dumbass. I don't know. But these are the things that I've lived through, the things that I know that I have to say to you. And here's some of the stupid stuff that we've had before. Students must remain fully clothed. Did you guys know that some people try to take their proctored exams naked? If you had to guess, male or female? It's equal opportunity. Oh yeah. And it doesn't matter how attractive they are either. It just seems to be some sort of widespread sickness. And so that's why that is in there. Oh yeah. So the rule of thumb is, if I wouldn't show up to the classroom looking like this, then I shouldn't take my exam looking like this. Read through all those. Make sure you understand them. I don't want you guys to get yourself in trouble for no good reason. So the artificial intelligence policy, this is new. AI, you can't use it during an exam for sure. How could you use it in this class? I actually had a student, and she is currently with me for her 3rd try at this class.
No.
Oh, yeah. Oh, hey, the record's 5. She finally passed on the 5th time.
Hey.
I'm so proud of you. Yeah. Okay, this is not common. This is not common, by the way. Most people pass on the first time. Okay, so back to the story. I said, let's talk about how you've been preparing. She's like, well, she says, first I get AI to summarize the chapter and tell me what's important. I said, well, that's interesting. I said, do you then actually read the chapter? She's like, no. Like, whoop, there's your first problem. By the way, have you guys ever had AI lie to you?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. And AI, you know, like when people lie to you, you have generally a feel for it, right? Because you can kind of see the twitchiness. Can you do that with AI? No. And it's freaking confident. It will tell you the craziest shit, and it will act totally, oh yeah, I got this, right? So don't trust AI. Don't trust AI. I tell people that AI is like a graduate assistant. Raise your hand if you're a graduate assistant. I will never trust your work directly. I will assign you to do a task, and then I will review it. And so treat your AI like a graduate assistant, except for Ms. Robinson. I do trust Ms. Robinson. Don't trust AI. So that's the big lesson there. There aren't really a lot of opportunities to use it to cheat in this class, except for what the girl was trying to do on the exam, and we busted her. So we got the calendar here, and everything's on the calendar. Go ahead and put that stuff into your electronic calendar. Let's talk about calendars. How many calendars should you keep?
2.
What?
Oh,
1. And should it be paper or electronic?
paper.
Electronic. Now, I was a paper calendar guy. In fact, I'm so old that I was one of the original Franklin Planner users. You guys don't even know what the hell that is. It's some sort of paper calendar, and it's got this, motivational crap that goes along with it. Anyway, I would have my meetings written down, but the Franklin Planner never told me, hey, you've got a meeting, right? Get off your butt, you've got a meeting. I actually got fired from a job, and one of the reasons that I got fired from the job was because I was constantly missing meetings. Paper calendars don't work for people with my particular affliction. By the way, you guys always have your phones with you, right? Put everything in your electronic calendar, put a reminder on it, put reminders 1 day in advance on your homework and your discussions. If you finish them before that, God bless you, but if not, boom, it'll remind you that you need to get those things done. The exam dates, those dates, you're going to have to be done by 7:59 p.m. on that date, so that's how that works. Here are the chapters we're going to cover in the order that we're going to cover them. Note that Chapter 4 is purely review from Fin 38600. Question?
Oh, we're talking about the discussions, that's creating people with the stars.
Oh, okay. So a couple of things. If you've got a question about the class, ask me.
Okay.
And then, so while you guys are discussing that, I said something very important. Did you hear it?
I didn't hear the last 5 seconds of what you said.
There you go, 5 seconds. Do you think that there could be 5 seconds that would be really important to hear? Yeah, imagine if you're on an airplane and they're telling you to pull down the oxygen mask, put it on. That's less than 5 seconds, right? Okay, so my point to you is this. If you've got a question about the class, go ahead and raise your hand and ask. I'd be glad to answer it. If you just want to talk about what kind of beer you're going to have later, do that after class. That's perfectly fine. You guys are probably into weed anyway. So, did you know it didn't used to be legal? Okay, back to the story. Discussions and starts. What do you want to know?
I was asking.
Okay, what do you want to know?
Because you said 6 to 12 of them. I was wondering, like, out of what, and is that all we have to write as a grade for the discussion?
Yeah, so you're going to write your own discussion post.
Yeah.
And then you're going to go look at 6 to 12 other people's stuff.
And score them.
And it's going to be just like Amazon, 1 to 5 stars. And then I take the number of stars and multiply it by 2. And that gives you your number of points for the discussion.
Gotcha.
Should we check the other discussion people like a day due, like the last day of 2 minutes due?
So what I would do if I were you is after you finish your discussion, Go out and see if there are other people who've already done it, and you can go ahead and rate them. And then, but just save 2 of your 6 to 12 for the last day, just to be kind to your fellow slackers who wait until the last day. By the way, should you copy other people's discussions? I had a girl, she sends me an email. She's like, I can't believe it. And she said the B word. This girl copied mine. And I went and looked, and she was right. And so I reached out to her. She's like, oh, we're not supposed to copy other people's stuff. I'm like, no! I want this to be your thoughts. Okay. Okay. Other questions?
For exams, do you just have it open that one day?
No.
Okay,
Remember, it's already open, right?
okay,
And that
okay.
way, if you get invited to a wedding,
You can just do it.
yeah.
Okay,
Or if you're like, I feel a cold coming on, what should you do?
just go ahead and take it.
Go ahead and take the exam.
Okay,
So they're open at any time?
Okay.
okay.
Yeah. So I will tell you this, do not take exam 1 until you have done your trial run quiz and had it okayed by Ms. Robinson. If you want to get on that sooner, then just go ahead and do the trial run quiz. Send Ms. Robinson an email and she will check it, make sure that you're on the straight and narrow. Once you've done that, then you can take exam 1. Do not take exam 2 until we've had a chance to look at your exam 1, because if we figure out on exam 1 that you're doing one of these hinky things, I'm going to blot out that exam 2 score, and I'm going to have you be taking it in person. Last semester, we had 7 people who had to take the stuff in person, and 6 of them had dramatically lower grades after we, so apparently one of them was truly just a super genius. Which makes me wonder why they weren't at Harvard. Okay, questions about the syllabus?
So can we see like how many people have already rated on discussion?
I don't know if it tells you how many people have rated it or not. So you can see things that I can't, strangely, on Brightspace. But, do you know how many really have to rate it? Yeah. By the way, students, especially conscientious students, they're like, well, what if they don't rate me well? What do students typically rate each other?
Pretty well.
Yeah. Students typically give each other a 5 unless something is terribly wrong. And then people come to me and they're like, why did I only get 9.6 out of 10? And I'm like, because someone rated you less than perfect. Is this the first time someone has told you you're not perfect? Anyway, they don't appreciate that. Other questions?
Okay, so for the exam, sorry, last one. If we have cats, do you care if the cats are in it?
I am okay with cats.
Okay.
Here's the problem that I've noticed with cats. Cats love to show their buttholes on webcams. Yeah! And so I'm like, and poor Ms. Robinson, she has to look at your cats. So that's my is please try to keep your cat from posing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Front of the camera.
And on, because the Only Pets channel. Okay. Other questions? Okay, let's get back to content. Oh, come on. Study tips. I'm going to walk through with you, but I want you to read these. And when people come to me and they're like, I'm not doing well, how should I study? I basically tell them exactly what's on this study tips. So you can get ahead of the game by reading the study tips up front. Some of you suck at algebra.
Sorry.
That sounded like a cough confession.
It got jumped up a little bit there.
Okay, and it's okay to suck at algebra right now, but you need to go through and review algebra because it's going to be very important. It's so funny in my teaching evaluations. I can't believe he expected us to know calculus. I'm like, I can't believe you're dumb enough to think this is calculus. Right? That seldom happens, but It's just algebra. That's all we're going to be doing. But if you don't remember the basics, you're going to find yourself in a world of hurt. The calculator purification ritual, if you've been using your calculator for previous classes, go ahead and watch this video and play along at home with your calculator to clear its little mind. We've got the respondents monitor instructions, and here are the 3 environment scan videos that I want you to watch. 3 different methods. You only have to use one of them. You only have to use one of them. And if you use one of them and you do it poorly, Ms. Robinson will let you know, and she'll let you know what you need to change. The solutions manual, there are questions at the back of each chapter. If you want to then look up the answers, then feel free. Here's my YouTube channel. I'm going to be posting all the videos there. I've got some other stuff out there too. Professional advice. Okay, by the way, how many of you have been told to follow your passion? Doesn't that sound great? That is total horseshit. What are most people passionate about? Well, I really like fishing.
Yeah.
Good luck getting a job doing it. Oh, I saw a guy who had sponsorship from Ranger Bass Boats. Yeah, he's one of 3 million bass fishermen. What we're trying to do here is find a way that you can make a living, support yourself, buy a home, raise kids, whatever it is you want to do. And there's a reason we call it work, right? If it was fun, we wouldn't call it work. We would call it fun. And no one would pay you to do it. You'd have to pay them. So, here's my advice to you. It's not about doing what you love. It's about loving what you do. When I was 16 years old, I got my very first job, my first legal job. I've done some illegal stuff off the books, but my very first legal job, scrubbing toilets. I have seen some literal shit that would blow your mind. Yeah. Now, you might think, oh, that would be terrible. He would hate that job. I went about being the very best toilet scrubber I could be. When I got through with the toilet, you could eat off of it. And I took, not that you should, but I took a lot of pride in that. And I do that with every job, and hopefully you can tell that I am passionate about this job. Did I take this job because it was my passion? No. So that's my advice to you, is to love what you do, not do what you love. Okay. Boring jobs are better. That's another good one. And then this last guy's a South African telling you why you should wear a suit. He's a smart guy. I will be posting job and internship opportunities here. The jobs that you hear about through Missouri State are becoming more and more important. And it's because we have a network. Right now, my assistant, Ms. Robinson, is on the job market. And she is telling me horror stories about how the submissions are all electronic, AI goes through your resume, and then if you're lucky enough to get through that, then you end up with an AI interview where you're apparently talking to some robot, and it takes forever, right? And you don't actually get seen by a person unless you pass all these moronic screens. The jobs that I post here are posted by our alums. They are people who know what it is that we're doing here, and they are people who want our students to succeed. So your chances for success on a job you find posted here much higher than your chances for success on a job you find posted on Indeed.com or whatever it is that you're trying to use. I've got live shows from prior semesters. If you didn't like the current semester, you can go watch what I said in a prior semester. You'll be amazed at how consistent my pitch is, right? Because I've done this so many times. I can be giving you a lecture and thinking about something totally different. That's how often, how much I've done this. Okay, I've got the materials busted down into chapters. And so for each chapter, the first thing I want you to do is print out the PowerPoint slides, and I want you to put one slide per page to give you plenty of room to write. And then, now that you've got them printed out, I want you to read the chapter using the Smart Book. Why the Smart Book? Because it asks you questions, it forces you to be engaged. Then, while you are reading the book, I want you to take some more notes on those slides, because you're going to need, the slides are just a skeleton, you need to put some meat on them. And then I want you to bring that to the lecture. And as I'm talking, you're going to add some additional meat to your slides, and you're also going to say, wait a minute, when I was reading the book, it said this, I didn't understand that, what does that mean? And I'll tell you. Or, wait a minute, the book says this, you say this, which is correct? I'll have to look, because sometimes the book is wrong. Most of the time it's me, but who knows, right? Okay. So after watching the lecture, then you're ready to do the practice. You want to do the practice, and you want to make sure that you understand how to do every practice problem. And if you don't, you can do one of two things. You can copy and paste the problem into an email and send it to me, and I will respond to you. Or you can come to my office hours and sit down and we can work through it together. Either way is perfectly fine with me.
Are there multiple attempts on the practice problems?
There should be. If there's not, let me know.
Okay. And are they graded?
No. Okay, this is a trap for the lesser thinker, is there are no points for it. So a lot of people think, I don't need to do it. There are no points for reading the chapter. Do you need to read the chapter? Absolutely. There are no points for doing the practice. Do you need to do the practice? Yes. The homework problems are actually easier than the practice problems. I'm trying to give people a chance to earn some points so they don't have to take the class 3 times, right? The exam problems will be closer to the practice problems than to the homework problems. So go ahead and make sure you do all the practice problems. Then after you've done the practice, then you go ahead and do the homework. And that's what you're going to repeat for each and every one of these chapters. Let's talk about the proper way to study. And I want you to think about the way you eat. How many of you eat at least once per day? You don't eat at least once per day? You do? Okay, raise your hand. Very good. Now, how many of you eat at least twice per day? Oh, yeah. Okay. 3? 3 is typical. Are you just 2 or 1?
Varies day to day.
Oh, wow. We've got a rogue here. Okay, so back to the story. What if you said, okay, this week I'm just not going to eat. I'm just not going to eat all week long, and then I'm going to sit down on Friday night and I'm going to eat everything I would have eaten for the week. How does that work? No, well, if you do manage to get it down, you're probably going to end up in the hospital, right? Not good. Now, why do you think your brain is so much different than your stomach? Do you think your brain can absorb all that stuff at one sitting? No. So you want to break it up. Break it up. And you should probably spend like an hour a day outside of class on this class in order to fully absorb the stuff that we're doing here. And people that work the class like that pass. By the way, should you be ashamed of a C in this class?
I'd be happy.
Yeah, so it kind of depends on your background. If you were a finance major, then you should be ashamed, right? But if you're a marketing or a management major and you get a C in this class, it's called paying your dues and going forward, right? And people often think that professors' favorite students are the ones who score the highest, and occasionally it's true. But I'm not going to think less of you. I'm not going to beat you up for. I'm just pleased that you're going to be able to get your C and move on. By the way, for every C in the MBA program you get, what do you have to have? Yeah, you got to have an A somewhere else to offset it, because the grade point average, you have to have a B average to be able to graduate, right? So, as long as you got an A somewhere else, then a C in this class is not going to be the end of you. Let's see. So, if we can click through, and it will take us hopefully. Woohoo! There we go. It worked. Okay, so that's how you get to connect.
We've talked about discussions and ratings. I've already told you that, and told you the trial run quiz, so we have 14 minutes left. I get to come around and see about what information you put down, questions.